Hello. So in this video, I'm going to give you an overview of the Philly HR manager's dashboard. In a previous video, I did a demo of the employee management dashboard where I logged in as an employee, sorry, HR manager, and then I'll come to the project manager. So the HR manager, if you click here and you log in as the HR manager, enter the email and password, it brings you to this landing page. And then from here, obviously you can see the calendar, any activities that are coming up. And then you can see a list of departments. And so there are some pre-populated departments, but every company can add their own custom departments, and we can you can click here and then uh, obviously, these are the ones that we have pre-populated, but you can always add a new department. And so I think here, if I scroll down here, these are the existing ones. So this add button allows you to type a custom department if there isn't already one in the list. So I can type uh, digital marketing. I'm just making this up. But if I were to hit save here, it would add it to this list. So that's how I created this one by using the add button. So anything you add becomes part of the company's departments. And then when you create an employee, you can assign them to a department, or when you go to tasks and teams, you can assign uh, certain department members a task or add them to a team. Okay, so that's where you create the departments. But yeah, when you click on this, it will show you the list of employees, similar to if you come to time and attendance here. So we're using this software internally at Philly. And so you can see under this that this is like a record of people's clock in and clock out activities. So, and from the employee dashboard, every employee who logs in at the beginning of the day, they clock in, and then the HR can see who has clocked in and who has not clocked in and all that over here. So the list of employees is here along with their details. And then PM accounts, you can see we created product manager accounts. So a project manager or product manager has certain things that they can do that the regular employees cannot do. So if I logged in here as a project manager, actually, let me probably just log in quickly. And let's see. Let me see if I can log in as a product manager. But essentially, in this view, the project manager or product manager sees a quick overview, so number of teams, pending tasks, and they can assign tasks or create teams. So yeah, you can see here I already created a few teams here. And so if I click add team, I can enter the team name, select some employees, and then add them to the team. So that's how I created these teams here. And so yeah, you can create teams and then you can assign tasks to the team. So the project manager, like you can see here, I created um, a task. And so if I come here and click create new task, I can give it a priority task, name, deadline, team, assignment, task description, and then it will show up here as the task. And then the people who have been assigned that, they will see these tasks have been assigned to them when they log in as an employee via the employee dashboard. So I did a separate demo of the employee dashboard before. So that video is available on our YouTube channel. If you're watching this video, you'll see the video of the employee dashboard somewhere on the channel. And so yeah, so you can create tasks and assign team members if you are the project manager. And then there's also performance management here. You can create KPIs, give feedback, manage skill and career tracking as a product or project manager. And so, yeah, there's a lot that the project manager can do if you log in as a project manager. So I'll come back to this project manager view, but let me go back to the HR manager view since that's what I was demoing. So the HR manager can see who the product or project managers are. So I've added 3 people as PM, so they can log in from the login page as um let me see. So we go to Philly HR. You can log in as a product manager once you've been added. So the HR has to add you as a product manager from the HR dashboard. And then once you've been added, you can log in as a product manager with some default credentials, and then you can change your password once you log in. Same thing for the employee. Once the new employee logs in the first time, they can change their password. So if I go to the sign-in page of Philly HR, this is that one here, project manager or product manager. So yeah, from the HR dashboard, you can see who the PMs are. And then you can also see payroll information. So payroll overview. Oh, it does this because I'm logged in as I logged in as a product manager. So there's now a conflict because my role has changed. So let me log out as the product manager and log in as the HR because certain roles are not allowed to see certain information. So because I logged as product manager, I could no longer see that payroll page. So let me log back in. Okay, once I log back in as an HR and I'm logged out as the product manager, I should be able to see the payroll section here. So I go to payroll overview, and now I see this here. So here you can create payroll for any month and process the payroll. So if I click create payroll here, I can see uh, different months this year. So the 12 months, I can create a payroll for any of the months, and then I can uh, once I've once I've started, so I have to select who is going to be on that payroll, but I can select everybody, or I can select certain specific people. And then once I've done that, I'll see the option to process the selected people. So if I were to select everybody, then I'll process everybody's pay at the same time. So I can choose to process certain people's payroll here, or I can choose to process everybody at once. And once I hit process, it'll begin process of transferring payments. So the settings allow you to add payroll settings allow you to add various settings that will be used to process payroll. So there are calculations that are done behind the scenes. If you come to create settings here, you can set for each role the number of standard work hours, what the overtime rate is, allowances, and things like that. So once you've set this up correctly, there's some calculations behind the scenes that use these fields, whatever is processed, to calculate the amount, the final salary based on the hours that the employees enter in the time and attendance sheet with the clock in and clock out. Those hours are used to calculate the amount of pay that's due to the employee at the end of the month when the payroll is run. So yeah, that's that. And then we have case management. So case management um, has a range of things. So here, yeah, you can see I've created some cases. So I can view any open cases or issues that need attention. So I recently created an issue which is still open, And then the other one I created was a request for leave. So from the employee dashboard, you can submit a request and it will show up here in the case management. So it showed up as a request for leave, which was resolved from here when it showed up. So because I saw it somewhere here, and if I open it, I can choose to mark it as resolved. So this leave request was marked as resolved. So actually I need to yeah, I need to go to it. So once I open it, here I can view or edit. So this one here, if I click edit, um, I can mark it. It's still showing as open. I can mark it as resolved or closed. Okay, so once the issue is raised or request is sent, it will show up here in the case management. You can view it. As the HR, you can view it under issue tracker. You can view any existing reports here, total issues. So I haven't resolved anything this week, but you can export some of these. You can export these to uh, PDF or Excel format. And so, yeah, and then there's a documentation section. So either people can submit documentation and you'll see them somewhere here, or you can create your own documentation um, for the team. Okay, so yeah, you just enter the title, description, and whatever it's fit, whatever the documentation is about, and um, the department, and then add the content, and whoever is in that department will see this documentation as something that they need to review. And so, yeah, if there are any leave requests, so this is the documentation. So the documentation has all documentation, leave, other. So you can see so we obviously haven't created any documentation, but when you create a documentation, it might be documentation related to leave, other, or a specific department's documentation. So as you toggle through, if it's under other, you will see that this other is selected. If it's under leave, leave is selected. So any documentation that you've been added will show up here. I haven't added any documentation yet, but that's how that works. So case management has issue tracking, leave requests, any disciplinary stuff will all show up here. So yeah, you can respond to leave requests as the HR. You can start a case. You can track cases as the raise. So if an employee sends a request or complaint, it'll show up and you can respond to it and address it via the case management section. So time and attendance, I think we already briefly saw this. So yeah, it just shows us an overview of the attendance for the team. So those who have logged in today, I can scroll down and see and go through the record to see who has logged in and who hasn't. Recruitment section. Yeah, recruitment section, you can see we have a site called Philly Jobs, which this site is linked to currently. So we've made it so that if you can create a job and it will be posted on Philly Jobs automatically. We're going to link to other job boards, but obviously some of them require a fee payment. So if you're going to post to other job boards other than Philly Jobs, then it might come with a fee. But for Philly Jobs, you can post to Philly Jobs for free. So this is our jobs platform. And if you come here to Philly HR and you create a job, you can post it for free on Philly Jobs. So here, if I click add new job, I can give the job a title, select which team it belongs to, add all the details, and then when I click to create job post, it will go to Philly Jobs, and Philly Jobs allow you to log in as an employer and view the applications there. You can review all the applications on Philly Jobs, and then when when you've made the decision, you can then uh, transfer the employee. Like if you select, if you hire a candidate, you can transfer their details from Philly Jobs back to Philly HR seamlessly. So you can do the recruitment on Philly Jobs and then onboard the employees to Philly HR directly. And yeah, if there are any candidates, their names show up here. If there are any active jobs, you'll see them here as well. So you can create a job, post it. Like I said, we're going to partner with other jobs platforms to allow you to post to different channels, but outside of Philly Jobs, it'll come with a fee. For example, if you have to post in Indeed or a Jobberman, those sites might require to pay a fee to post there. So that's why we're making it free on Philly Jobs for now, and that gives you a starting point. And so, yeah, recruitment, events. If you go to the events section, you can see okay, so we're in February, and so we don't have any upcoming events this month. But if I were to scroll around, okay, so I went to March, the ending of March, we have end of quarter evaluation. So you can see that's in the calendar here, that upcoming event. So you can create an event. I created that end of quarter evaluation event by just filling out the form and then choosing the date and time, and then clicking create event. So that's how this end of quarter evaluations event was created and added to the calendar. So yeah, you can create events, and then the employees will see the events having created on their employee dashboard, so they will know that at the end of March they have the end of quarter evaluations. Performance, you can go to the performance overview here, and you can see, yeah, as the HR, you can assign goals to people. So I created a goal. So we have KPIs and goals, feedback and reporting, skills and career tracking. I created a goal and assigned it to myself. I created a goal as an HR, but I assigned it to my employee account. And so this is the one that I created. And so I assigned myself that goal. I think I probably assigned myself a KPI somewhere. So, but yeah, so you can see the ones that are in progress now started, completed, at risk, and things like that. So yeah, this is the overview. Obviously, I can go to KPI section. You can see I created some KPIs, company growth, and then you can see the details of each KPI. You can edit them. Strategic partnerships, KPI. You can assign these KPIs to different people. So if I click create KPI here, you give the KPI a name, target value, and then milestone description, the due date, and then I click create KPI. So that's how I created these KPIs here. And then feedback and reporting. You can, so I did you can click create feedback here, and then you can select the employee, review period, start and end, overall score. So this is the HR. So you can give any employee feedback, rate them for the period, for a certain period. And so yeah, I created these reviews, and if the employee goes to their dashboard, they'll see that I have left them a review. So this actually shows up on my employee dashboard. I just made this up because obviously if I'm rating myself, then I may be biased. But yeah, you can see if I've received any peer review, if the person has a peer, the peers can review them from their employee dashboard. And HR can add a note or summary details, and then any follow-up action and things like that. So yeah, that's the review page, feedback and review. So obviously you can see, um, yeah, performance heat map. We don't have enough data here. But once you have uh, enough data, you'll be able to see more analytics here. So yeah, there's a lot going on here, but feedback and reporting. And then there's skills and career tracking. So I created one assessment, I think. Um, so competency framework, skill assessment. Yeah, you can add an assessment. And so yeah, I created this assessment for my employee account. But so we have these skills here. Uh, yeah. So there's an array of skills, but categories, tech skills, functional, cross-functional skills, and you can select a skill and add an assessment here. So these lists can be customized for each company. We just have, as a tech player, we have a lot of these uh, tech-related, programming-related skills. So yeah, um, you can choose a skill and then add an assessment for it. Choose a department. So if I choose this, yeah, you can choose a skill, select an employee, uh, and then just go through and fill out the form, assessment date, skill level, assign a score, next review date, status, comments, and then create. Okay, so I created one uh here as a test. Okay, but you can add as many as you like. And then yeah, so that's skill and career training. I think we've already seen teams briefly. You can add create a team. So these teams here, I created an HR dev team, management team, sales and marketing team, and just as simple as filling out this form. So I already wrote that 3 times. So but that's the idea. And then you can create a new task. So if I create a new task, uh, let's see, important task name, uh, finish creating demos of HR as well. Okay, so and the deadline is 02/15/2026. And I can assign a team, assign it to the management team, and specifically that create demos in HR. Okay, so I just created this task and it will now show up here, but it also show up on my employee dashboard as a task that has been assigned to me. So I just created this here and you can see it as assigned to me. You can assign it to multiple people, like these ones were assigned to multiple people. So this list of tasks, whoever was assigned, it was assigned to when they log in as an employee. So I'm going to log out here and log in as an employee. But essentially, when you log in as an employee, you will see um, the task. You'll see the task that I will assign to you. Okay, so yeah, the employee dashboard demo, I did a full demo of it last time. So when I log in as an employee here, this is my employee dashboard. I can go to the task section and any task that have been assigned to me, I'll see here. So you can see that finish creating. I think this is the one I just created. Okay, so yeah, if you yeah, so the one I just created is here, so I can see details of it on my employee dashboard. I can respond to it by typing a comment here, and then the HR will know that maybe I said, okay, okay, working on it. Uh, so if I post this, then the message goes to the HR so they can see that I acknowledge seeing the message and I'm working on it. So that's the task, and so yeah, there's a separate detailed demo on the employee dashboard work. So hopefully this gives you a good idea of how Philly HR works. And so yeah, stay tuned for more updates and like and subscribe our chat to our YouTube channel and you'll receive notifications when I post another video. Until then, see you next time.